A volunteer needs to be responsible, very dedicated. To believe so much in what you do that you can stir other people's enthusiasm as well. To give your best in taking care of nature. Goodwill and good heart.
I think one has to be natural to become a volunteer.
Being a volunteer is excellent.
Volunteering is helping others, especially youth people.
Helping people to understand that nature is important.
This has to come from the heart.
And to look for more, to burn inside and want to do more and more. I believe in what we do here. When you believe truly in something, you can attract people. And even one person attracted is a success.
We're going down to the river and split up in 6 teams. Romania, Bulgaria and Macedonia are linked with many threads, in the past and today. 21 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, young people communicate more, speak more languages, travel more. They're connected to many people and groups and become part of new communities, virtual and real. Their world is spinning so fast that sometimes we fail to hear them and understand them. The modern young man stands between altruism and pragmatism, between sense and benefit. Poverty, the lack of resources for having a normal and peaceful life in families in Eastern Europe, is a serious challenge for young people. Many students prefer to earn something in their spare time, rather than spending nice time with their friends. But since the beginning of the world, we're excited by the same questions. What is it like to be a good person? Can I be a good person? Young people today have the chance to give their own answer. Some of them find this answer in volunteering.
There is a many definition for what is volunteering, but simple volunteering is working without money.
Volunteering, this is some kind of charity.
I think every young person should be involved, regardless of their origin. If you volunteer, you are helping, and every organization needs help. We are looking for people to come and participate with whatever you can, work, assistance, whatever it is. We came here to ride bicycles. So instead of riding bicycles, we are cleaning today. But tomorrow we'll come to a clean place. I really like it when the park is clean. We live in a time when everyone should be a permanent volunteer.
The adults are less active. They have lost the habit to work in brigades in the past. Nostalgia for the past is usually nostalgia for youth. Those first excitement of the heart, the enthusiasm of meeting new people, the joy of being a part of something greater, the sense of freedom. But many adults have mixed feelings about their own past. Work for the benefit of society for several generations was almost mandatory. Agricultural brigades, construction of factories, dams, roads, even whole cities. They had no choice. The young ones have no memory of all of this. They have another life and other problems. I definitely think that volunteering in Bulgaria is extremely unpopular. You know that 44 years volunteering was prohibited, or rather mandatory, which automatically makes it not volunteering. Adopting the European practices in Bulgaria makes more people accept it for normal and obligatory. But definitely we need to work more in this direction. The approval of parents is very important for young people. Their response may be a key factor in the decision of a teenager to become a volunteer. In Bulgaria, parents often have a lot of questions about the honest intentions of the organizations. Some even suspect them of being sects. Others definitely have a bad attitude towards volunteering. But there are many youngsters who receive support from their families. In Macedonia, this problem does not exist.
I can say there is a change in the attitude of parents, and now the new volunteers, those who come later, now aged 14, 15 years, their parents are far more benevolent.
My parents understood a little later that I was a volunteer. They accepted this fact because they knew that I'm not doing rubbish. My parents inspired me for volunteering. They never deterred me, and I'm very grateful for this, because otherwise I would have never gotten the chance to gain the experience that I have now.
Well, my parents approve my volunteering, but they strictly say that school comes first.
My parents said it will be better to do something with my life than just sitting at home and playing video games. So they said it was good to me to go there and do something with my life.
They're happy because I spent my free time in useful things.
I believe volunteering is not an obstacle to my education and working. I can organize my time and continue to be a volunteer.
We organize meetings with parents to get them acquainted with this. And we try to involve them in our work so that they understand that the things we do are absolutely normal and they know that their kids are okay. Some parents are very much involved. Many of them are even our sponsors or help us with contacts.
It is strange for them what kind of future will have all this. But they certainly support me in everything I want and have even been involved in various initiatives in my hometown.
Ambiguous and contradictory is the attitude of young people to celebrities who publicly commit to supporting community causes. They do not trust politicians, for example, but they trust artists, especially those that are organically linked to their cause. They have the power to be a model and attract others.
People are left with the impression that celebrities use their popularity only for showing off. Unfortunately, many popular persons in Bulgaria act just like that, indeed. I wish my colleagues and my friends use their popularity for something meaningful at last, to lead other people. I believe that the good person, if he is an actor and he plays on stage, can affect with his goodness the whole stage and the whole audience. When someone truly believes in what he does, he can affect all people in front of the TV screen.
In 2010, volunteering is on the rise, or so felt volunteers and their organizations. A new generation is growing, part of which finds meaning in volunteer work, for themselves and for the society. After years of recession, a wave of volunteering is coming back, as fashion, as a rule, as an opportunity, especially among teenagers, university students and young people.
I've been volunteer since I found out about what volunteering is. I was 14 or 15 years old when I went to volunteer in the British Youth Council in Skopje. And I went there, it was weekend, and I went there, I said that I wanted to be a volunteer, and they said, how old are you? I said, I'm 14, and he said, you still want to be a volunteer, you can help us. But I wanted to help so much, so they said, okay, come here for a couple of days, try to work, and we'll see what we'll do after that. And I were them the next weekend, and I stayed there for 4 years.
This is my second year of volunteering.
9 years already.
For, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago.
With volunteering, I'm active in the last 8 years.
Since I was 13.
Honestly, this is my first time.
More enthusiastic volunteers are youngsters aged 14 to 18, because these years are carefree, even though they do not realize that fact. When we become 18, life starts to press us. For example, we go to university, start working, leave parents' home and become independent, and try to make our own family. So generally, life presses us, and then it is more difficult to balance between daily cares and being a good person.
Young people definitely look for amusement. The students at upper school classes start to display interest in volunteering. They want to collaborate and to come to our office.
This was a period of my life when I had a lot of free time and I decided to do something useful.
People do not come into this world as volunteers. Belonging to a cause needs to be brought up gradually, in the family, at school, in surroundings we're in touch with. Young people do not always understand volunteering is a piece of work and responsibility. It takes time to form habits, to accumulate skills, communication culture and sense of duty.
I could not say we are educated. I mean, a very small percentage of people educate themselves in volunteering. Volunteering culture and work on probation are not so familiar in Bulgaria. There is a concept that if you are a volunteer, you can do things when you want, the way you want, when you have time. If I want it, I'll do it. You can even decide not to call because you are a volunteer. People can't understand that if you say, yes, I'm a volunteer, it's equal to signing a contract and promising you will come at that time, at that place. Volunteering is a kind of job. Here is your task description. I expect you to do that. Volunteering needs to be trained in. One needs to work for it. And on the other hand, people who promote volunteering do not lay it out clear.
Unfortunately, men usually need to get through difficulties and problems in order to recall those things. People need to get through some cataclysms or even disasters in order to occur to them that all these things are in fact normal and we shouldn't forget them. Usually, we learn that the hard way. Probably it will take time to regenerate all that thing. Some time ago, it was part of a moral code, of spiritual education, of religious education. We have forgotten it, and it will take time to recall. But it will happen. It will happen for sure. We should look to the West, but definitely we should not apply their models in Bulgaria. It will be a wrong practice. I see this is happening lately here. We take a model from the United States and apply it here, but here it doesn't work because the people are different. So we should look to the West to learn what people do, not to be left behind, but our way should be always different. In Romania, Bulgaria and Macedonia, youth volunteering has its own characteristics. There is a strong accent on community services in Bulgaria. The informal education and helping coevals are most popular in Macedonia. In Romania, youngsters are really good in fundraising and management of students' projects.
Young people in Bulgaria are more enthusiastic than here because there is a different angle on the volunteering.
95% of the volunteers work for non-profit organizations, including community centers. The other 5% support municipal structures, schools, and kindergartens. More and more companies, as part of their social responsibility, encourage their employees to be volunteers. And usually, these are young people. They choose most often to be volunteers in green initiatives, in programs helping children, in educational and cultural projects.
We have problems with the nature in Macedonia, so there are a lot of things that must be fixed, and I'm glad to do that. So I can fix. We had problems with the waters, with the ground pollution, with the birds. So it's good to help the nature. It's helping with the nature. You're helping to yourself. It's the circle of life, like on the Lion King.
I think preserving nature is impossible without volunteering. Ecology is a blessed subject to communicate with people and to attract them. We set artificial nests, we explore rock niches of Egyptian vultures, we guard nests of threatened species. There is a spirit of adventure in the beginning.
We work for the zoo because there are no companies who want to invest in better living conditions for the animals. That's why we have to do it. Professional management of volunteers brings up many matters about negotiation, insurance, value of labor. Only in Bulgaria there isn't a law regulating voluntary work. Some managers think it's an obstacle for the development of volunteering.
The lack of law regulation is one of the barriers of making volunteering more popular. We discussed a project of law a few years ago. Such a law is very important for organizations working with volunteers. When we hire a volunteer, we sign a contract with him, where it is written that he or she will work without payment. But all rights and responsibilities are described. Sometimes the tasks are specialized, for example, to climb up a power pole, even though switched off, and to set a nest. Such tasks are dangerous, so we insure our volunteers. The problem is that the insurance companies prefer to insure employees who have a contract. And of course, volunteers have no such contracts. And these expenses are not eligible according to tax regulations.
Доброволците, разбира се, няма как да има трудов договор с нас. Така че от гледна точка на отчетността на организацията да се признае като разход е доста трудно. А и просто няма такъв продукт.
There are very different reasons for a kid or a young person to come to a voluntary organization. Chance, boredom, purposefully looking for experience. But what is common is looking for contacts, making relations with others. I have been a volunteer for 11 years, when I was just that big. We organized the cleaning of some places in the city and other social things. We went to orphanages. Everybody can be a volunteer, but everybody has a different motivation. Some want to socialize in a community, others are simply bored. Some have very altruistic spirit and they want to express it in action.
Come, there are a lot of girls.
I have very handsome colleagues in Young Council period, so come and be a part of that.
Young people experiment first. They want to make sure if it will be interesting, and suddenly they see exciting things in what we do. Volunteering is accessible, interesting, and intriguing for youth. First, they see in it learning a craft, and second, they feel more helpful. They understand that 2 or 3 hours of the day could be devoted to a cause, to help. To be a volunteer gives me great satisfaction.
Definitely, people should be volunteers, and only then they can feel and understand what it is.
When I help somebody, I can see his smile.
Present young people find in volunteering not only happiness and dealing with others, but also real practical benefits. Volunteers become more responsible, independent, and become good citizens. I hope it changed me to better. I became more responsible.
To be honest, to invest in myself because with volunteering you get some experience, and that experience helped me to achieve my short-term goals.
Well, I think that non-formal education is very important.
The wish to help, some of my humble experience and knowledge to share with others. And another motivation is, of course, to show my nationality in a better way.
My motivation for volunteering was the chance to do something different and dissimilar from the regular weekly activities that my peers do, and the chance to do something different in the society and learn new things.
It gives me the pleasure that I am useful for the community, and most of all, I like it.
Okay, if you want to improve yourself, just do it.
Volunteering. Upgrade yourself and participate in the community.
Besides the satisfaction of doing something good, volunteering meets me with new people. And volunteers are always good persons, frank persons. They are ready to dedicate themselves to a cause, and that is the most valuable.
Increasing your circle of friends, increasing your self-confidence, and the most important thing is the feeling that you are useful in society.
I felt really great spending my time because I met new people, learned something new, and I felt really positive.
It teaches us to be more tolerant. Some young people choose their professional way after they get to know the job while being volunteers. Others purposefully do voluntary work to gain specific professional skills.
I started with the Olympiad in ornithology, organized by the Bulgarian Society of Protection of Birds. That proved to be fateful. It just became my daily life. It changed my life for sure. Before that, I was only a kid who doesn't know what it wants. Honestly, I like to be a volunteer. I like to work with people, especially young ones. I already think I can try to make a career in the non-profit sector. I think that I can use all my knowledge and experience in that field.
Dar rămâne de văzut dacă se va materializa la un moment dat sau nu. Asta depinde de circunstanțe.
I grew up gradually and formed as a professional, as a cultural manager and a cultural activist.
Well, I have gained much experience in many fields, like urban art, organizing events, and I don't know, I made a lot of friends.
To be honest, theater is everything for me. I started as a volunteer in theater Viceversa in the city culture center, together with many youths addicted, just like me, to theater work. The biggest satisfaction is to see the hall full of people, regardless the fact that it's quite a big one. And when people come to you and you say that there are no tickets left, you invite them to the next show. And this is satisfaction.
Chiar dacă e paradoxul ăsta că trebuie să trimiți oamenii acasă, cea mai mare satisfacție o ai când lumea vine la ușa și spui îmi pare rău, dar nu mai este loc în sală, veniți la spectacolul următor.
Like their co-evils all around the world, young people in Eastern Europe expect their skills obtained during the volunteering to be estimated when they apply to a college or university or when they look for a job from their future employers. If we take a look to the West, we will see that this is the future, definitely. To be a volunteer in Western Europe means a lot. To be a volunteer for any organization is the best recommendation when applying for a university or a future job.
Now we are in the beginning, but I can say yes. These youths who participate show more courage, more confidence. This is a benefit for us who help young people to demonstrate themselves, to show initiative, to make a choice. I can give some examples of students who managed well without teachers. These initiatives are beneficial for us, both in short-term and in long-term perspective. Society will have leaders in future who will lead responsibly, honestly, and who will be attentive to people's needs and problems.
I've shown interest in the subjects that I've never been interested in before volunteering, and I hope they will be a big plus in my college application later in life.
If you take volunteering as a practice, it could be very helpful in your future life.
We accumulate huge experience in different areas that otherwise would not be obtained. We get practical skills that we will use in our professional life. For example, teamwork. It shouldn't be underrated, for it is maybe one of the basic obstacles to being professional.
I think that the biggest advantage that I gained during these 8 years as a volunteer is traveling. Traveling a lot around Europe especially, not around the world.
In society, described by the young people as disintegrated, with a messy system of values, without reference points, without values, such a connection to others could be life-saving. Participation in social programs gives youth the priceless opportunity to look at themselves in a different role, to put themselves in others' shoes, in place of harmed ones, to feel empathy. Those who have more, for example time or money, could give some to others who may haven't got any. This is volunteering.
The Kids Center has been working with volunteers for 3 years. We are very grateful to volunteers for their help. It's very useful. We can do something, even a small gesture to help somebody, and we can make kids feel better. When volunteers come to us, they get familiar with issues, and I think they change. Some things change in their life, in their thinking. Some bring donations, for example, computers. Giving help to those who need it, who are in trouble, is of course something everybody should think of and do. Every kind of support for us is very helpful and meaningful.
Every person, every child should be educated in volunteering. We should know that everybody can turn out to the opposite side. God save us, the side which needs help. My name is Cosmin. I am 18. I'm blind and I'm a volunteer since 2008. I want to show to other kids that blind children can also achieve big things. I got some experience in working with kids. I started to understand them. I tried to show them everyone can grow physically and spiritually. I participate in sport games.
I love that feeling that I can help and to give my knowledge and to other people.
It is very important to us because we form our characters now and we can learn how to help others. It is important to us and it is accessible. It is good for us to change and to shape our characters while we are still in high school.
I think that the most useful thing that with the volunteering you get is the thing that is the feeling that you have when you help someone.
Not only the elderly, but some of their coevals underestimate youth volunteers too. They think youths fiddle away their time, that they are not purposeful enough. But the truth is that young volunteers are persons looking into the future. They feel themselves responsible for what will happen, to them and to the others. This is the way all around the world, in Bulgaria too. I can't understand why shouldn't volunteering be the way.
I believe Bulgaria has a chance to develop. I hope this is the way. I believe this is the way.
If there is support, there will be good future.
Yes, I can see my children and the kids that are coming that they must go volunteering.
I should show my kid the benefits of volunteering and of helping people and the community. I think that this is very important.
Well, I think it's important and it will be important in 10 years because helping people would always be here.
I can guarantee that they will get some positive experience, at least to try.
I plan to keep volunteering as a part of my life because it brings me to my childhood. And I want the child in me to be always alive. By being here, I keep it. Come and try. It is different, but it's good.
I will tell you one thing. Why I want to be a volunteer and what I will do with my life. When I will be 15 years old, I will sit at home on my sofa watching Premier League and drinking beer with the kids running around. I want to say, I did this, I did that, I did something with my life. That's why I'm a volunteer, and that's what I will do all my life. The volunteering is who I am and where I want to be. I will do this my whole life.
It's better to be active, not just spectators. Volunteering gives you the opportunity to get a leading role.
Be a volunteer and make the world a better place to live.